Hello, welcome back to How to D&D. Today is Dungeon Master preparation, and I thought we would do shops, although I am open to doing something else if people want to. What you can see in front of you are some of the tools we will use today. Of course, we will also be using your brain, and hopefully mine as well. Anyway, I thought it would be sort of a nice opening to just sort of put that in front of you. I'm going to be putting up a poll that you can respond to. This sort of determines where we might wind up going or not going, depending on the perspective. How's it going, Noroak? Noroak is a patron, and welcome back to the channel. I look forward to your input for today. It's always very, very good. So it's going to be a fun time. I'm sure of it. Okay, so let's just check out my webcam. This is a pretty quick and fast presentation. It doesn't usually take very long. I'm usually done in a very short space of time. What I'm going to probably do today is I'm going to try to focus on getting as much done as possible, of course, with your assistance. But anyway, grab some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, get ready, there's a lot to discuss, and of course, as always, never enough time. How's it going, Paul? Hello, how are you? You may need some dice today, but I've also brought plot twist cards, story cubes. Chrismanthia, hello, how are you? So yes, we're all about potentially making shops. Look, I've put in the poll, do you want to make shop names, basically. But if you want to do taverns, I know there was a discussion around taverns. If you want to just do a list of taverns, that's fine. I just found that there's so many resources that give you names of taverns, but there isn't really anything for shops. See my point? Anyway, now that there are people here, let's get going onto the presentation. No more screwing around. Just get it done. So I hope you got your food, your drink ready, and you're comfortable, and you're all ready for lots and lots of stuff that we have to get done. But first off, let's do this, shall we? Let's do this thing. Hi, welcome to D&D. My name is... Sorry. Man, one of those days again. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I would talk about James Bond, but no, we're going to talk about the Dungeon Master preparation we need to do, and that is Lesson 6, Learning to Improvise. What is learning to improvise all about? What am I talking about? What does that actually mean? Well, my overview is I'm going to talk about some improvising methods. I'm going to cover Rory's story cubes and how they can be used. Plot twist cards, if you're aware of them, great. If you aren't, I'll cover it. Random charts, and of course that sort of builds into your software random generators as well. Plot points, no game preparation, and what to improvise, and then there's some miscellaneous recommendations I give at the end of this. With everything that I do, I have some objectives. That is to explain everything, demonstrate as much as I possibly can, and allow you to practice, okay? Not necessarily with just Rory's story cubes, but with whatever I can find. I'm going to refer you to D&D Beyond, to the Combat Encounter Builder for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. Really a fast way of putting together a combat if you really needed to. Throw it all together very fast if you're stuck and you're needing to sort of improvise and give yourself a bit of space. Okay, let's talk about the improvising methods that I want to discuss today specifically. And the ones I'm picking are the ones that I'm familiar with. And the first one is Rory's story cubes. Rory's story cubes have been around a long time. These are basically just dice. Plot twist cards are exactly what they sound like. They are cards that have a twist to them, and they're used to affect the story in some way. The next one is your random charts. You'll be aware of this. You've seen them. You'll see them in books. You'll encounter them on the internet. Random charts and generators. And then plot points, or plot, I guess you would say it's in the Dungeon Master Guide, and it's basically a point or an asset that a player will use in your game. And then finally, in terms of an improvising method, is just doing no preparation. So I want to cover each one, the pros and cons of each technique, and then we'll proceed from there. And I think I want to start off with one that I think is probably one of the strongest assets in the arsenal, and that is the Rory story cubes. So Rory story cubes, what you do is you roll a few of these and you use them to inspire a story idea as quickly as possible. It's basically a way of triggering your brain if it starts going into paralysis. These are six-sided dice, and they're covered with different pictures or images to offer ideas. Every single side is different, and in the set there are 9 dice. Okay, and out of those 9 dice, there's no single image that's the same. I would suggest to you try playing with Rory story cubes with your family and friends first before using the story cubes in a Dungeons and Dragons session. This method requires some practice before you start using it. So when you want to apply it to your game session, maybe a good way of doing this is to actually play the game before you play Dungeons and Dragons as people are coming into the dining room or the lounge or whatever. Or maybe you play this outside of your Dungeons and Dragons session just to get used to the concept. Now, there are some good things about this and some bad things about this. One is there is a limited number of images on the dice. So you might find you come to a point where it doesn't spawn any more ideas. But I find they still are a very good tool and relatively light considering. The next one is plot twist cards. This is one you're probably less likely to be aware of. The plot twist card offer mechanical benefits that are related to Pathfinder, the first version of Pathfinder, the roleplay game. So ignore that. I want you to just ignore that section. But it does include narrative suggestions. Usually there's a key word or words that sort of focuses you in terms of what you're going to do with this card or what you could do with this card, and then it gives you about 4 suggestions. They're usually underneath there. Okay, the plot twist card can be used, you can give them out randomly to your players, and they can change the game's plot, they can change the events, the locations, the monsters, they can change anything they want. This is not easy to do in a campaign or adventure, okay? And it can come apart if you wind up with player input that sort of is too much for you to deal with. So you just need to be aware that generally you will have to have a method for dealing with this. And I would suggest to you, when you give out these cards, whether you give them as a reward or you simply give everybody randomly a card at the very beginning of your session, the Dungeon Master does not have to accept the player's plot twist card suggestion. If you don't like it, you don't think you can deal with it, say no. There's nothing bad about doing that. You can say no. All you do is take the card off them and ask them to draw a new card. Okay? Because they've tried to use it and obviously you have said no to that, so they need to have a new card so they can try to integrate that at some point during the adventure. Now, whether you allow them to bank these cards or whether they have to use them all up during your game session, that's really completely up to you. There's lots of different ways of doing it. I find that this is very good for getting you started in terms of having to improvise. It forces you to improvise because the players are putting input into there outside of the normal, I'm just going to have my character do something. They're actually trying to affect the story and be kind of like part of the Dungeon Master themselves. The next one that you're probably very familiar with, and that is random charts. Now, random charts have been around a long time for obvious reasons because they're useful. Random charts can be used to generate anything and everything for a Dungeon Master. You'll find that most Dungeon Master guides, even the Pathfinder Game Mastery Guide, has plenty of charts that you can use. And almost every roleplay game has some sort of guide, whether it's a Game Master Guide or a Dungeon Master Guide, that gives you a whole array of different charts. Now, there's also websites that have huge numbers of these. The problem with using random charts and tables in a game and improvising is that you need to be well organized. So you need to take your random tables and you need to be well organized. You either need to have a folder where they all go so you can flip through it very quickly, or you need to have a quick access point online if you're going to use it online. And if it's online, you need to have a folder system that can be accessed. And you can just, a search bar is probably something you're going to need to do this. Now, I'm not going to refer you to any kind of particular software for doing this because I'm not trying to sell their product to you. So that's the thing to consider, is you need to organize your random charts if you're going to use them to improvise in your game. Another point, which is sort of carrying on from the plot twist cards that I talked about before, probably even more difficult than using plot twist cards, but I'm still going to discuss it because it does exist, and that is plot points. Now, plot points are basically like you give either one or two of these to your players. It's discussed in the Dungeon Master Guide for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. It's on page 269 to 270, and allows the player the ability to affect anything. There's no restriction on the theme or what basically they can do. Like plot twist cards, there's kind of a restriction, okay? There's no restriction. They can affect anything in the campaign, anything about the adventure, anything about the plot, anything about non-player characters, monsters, locations, anything in the game whatsoever. So this suffers from the same issues as the plot twist cards. The only difference is it can be quite a lot more significant. In other words, it's much harder to do than the plot twist cards. This is why I'm mentioning the plot twist cards, because I feel like it's a softer entry to that sort of method. Now, if you're not open to that, again, I would go with the same approach. If they use their plot twist, their plot point, and you don't want to change the story in that way because it's too hard for you to manage, just say no and say you can use your plot point at a different time to try and do something else. Okay, that would be my suggestion to you. There are times where you need to say yes and, okay, rather than no, but there are times where you have to say no, but we can do this. Okay. Right, the next thing, and probably the most brutal method for learning how to improvise, and this is just doing no game preparation. Usually doing no game preparation to learn how to improvise is forced upon the dungeon master or game master by accident. So doing no game or adventure preparation forces a dungeon master to improvise a roleplay game or a Dungeons and Dragons game because they have nothing to refer to. Okay, not something I recommend at all to a dungeon master who hates feeling stressed or panicked. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is a great idea. If you're the sort of person who can mellow out and doesn't really worry about things, then maybe this is a technique you could use. This method, as I said, is often practiced by a dungeon master or a game master as a result of having no time to plan for their game session, and they can't give up the idea of not running the game. Because they haven't done any preparation and they needed that preparation. So they decide to run the game and just not worry about it. Now, I have run games like that and found that they have been perfectly fine, and also found that they've been complete garbage. But then again, I've had complete garbage games where I prepared as well, so it doesn't really seem to matter too much. It also depends on the type of person you are. What I will say about doing no game preparation is you'll be surprised at the results. You'll probably find that you are not happy with the results, but your players might well be very happy with the results. So you do need to ask for feedback, and hopefully they can give you honest feedback that isn't cruel. The only problem with doing no game preparation when you're trying to learn to improvise and forcing yourself to do it and forcing yourself to do everything is it's a lot to bear, and you can get some really cruel player feedback. And this is usually a result of players not being dungeon masters, and also not being dungeon masters, but not understanding that what they do in terms of improvising with their character is actually not very good either. And so you have to allow people to actually learn to improvise, and the only way to do that is to practice. You have to practice improvising to get better at it. And if you don't have players willing to allow you to practice and make mistakes as you learn to improvise, then you can't improvise. And frankly, it's a very difficult situation, particularly as players will force dungeon masters to improvise by having their characters do something. So if you have players that operate that way, there's a real big problem here. Now, how you resolve that is really up to you. You're a big person, okay? You have to solve that yourself. I'm not going to give you advice. I don't do how to deal with problem players or how to deal with problem dungeon masters videos. And anytime you see them, they will always be in jest and poking fun at that sort of thing. Okay, what to improvise in your game. Okay, so You can use your Rory story cubes, you can use your plot twist cards, you can use your random charts, you can use no game preparation. Maybe you listen to music. I mean, who knows how it is, but what sort of things can you add that into your game? Whether it be a Dungeons and Dragons game or a role play game, I'm going to suggest the following things tend to come up quite a lot. The title of a book found on a bookshelf or on a desk. It's something that players always seem to ask us. If you say there are books or bookshelves, they want to know what the name of the titles of the books are so that they can grab them. Okay, so improvising those is going to happen. The contents of a book when they want to read the book. This is for players who are really trying to force the issue. Okay, but it does come up. It's happened to me. The creation of a non-player character, quite common. Where you suddenly need to have information on a NPC or non-player character. You don't have this information, so you can develop your personality traits, your ideal, your bonds, your flaws, and your motivation simply by rolling dice, and you use the images to represent each aspect of the NPC. Now, this method was described, and there's a video on it that Sly Flourish put out, or Mike Shea, and I suggest checking it out. You can create quick adventure hooks for side quests if you need to, just by using these techniques. Random encounters. Now, I'm not talking about combat encounters. That's easy. You just flip through a monster manual and you find a monster that seems appropriate. Fair enough. No, when I mean random encounters, I mean things that aren't related to combat. Everything else other than that. A letter. The contents of a letter from a PC that presents a clue to complete an adventure goal of some kind. So often if you have a letter or a diary, then you'll want to know what's actually in there, and those story cubes or plot twist cards or your charts might be quite useful. Runes found in an ancient temple or a castle or a tomb that unlock a magical secret. Just using them to decide what monsters you're going to use or incorporate into your campaign or your adventure. Developing travel locations for your party to see as they journey through from one place to another. Creating, say, an official document, whether it be a birth certificate, a land deed, or something like this. Journal entries, I kind of mentioned that in terms of the letters. Loot items, trinkets that they could come across, and magic items. And that's not the end of the list, but I'm not going to give you any more because that's enough to start with. Now, with everything that I do on this channel, I always try to give you some miscellaneous recommendations. So my miscellaneous recommendations to you is, please don't judge your own improvising strictly. It's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the process. Okay? It's not clear what your players will enjoy, even if you don't think it's very good. I've often found when I improvise, there's something that I've done that I thought was terrible, my players loved, which is kind of really frustrating when you spent a lot of time preparing only to find that you didn't actually need to do that. It doesn't always work that way, but I have found that can be the case. Improvising takes time to practice, and you need to practice before the game and during the game to get better at doing it. So expect not to be very good at it, okay? Because you will need time to do this. And if you do not have players willing to allow you to practice to improvise and get better at it and do things that won't work, you've got a real problem here. You won't be able to grow. And I can assure you a group like that will probably fracture at some point. Even if your players don't like a dungeon master improvising a game, that doesn't mean that a player's feedback needs to have a lot of weight, okay? So even if the players want you to improvise or don't want to improvise, you've got to remember you need to take players' feedback with a grain of salt, particularly if they've never been a dungeon master. If they've never been a dungeon master, their feedback is not actually that as important. Now, why is this? It's because they don't actually know and understand what it's like to be a dungeon master and what you have to try to deal with and what you need to do. Okay, and if they did, you'll find if you were sitting down at a table with a whole lot of other dungeon masters, they're much more accommodating for anything that you do. Okay, remember, you're making stuff on the spot, okay? You're not having a lot of time to do these things. So, and also I had just pointed out before about players improvising with their characters and not being impressive at doing that. Players may think that they're doing a great job, But you as a dungeon master know fully well that what they're doing is not necessarily giving weight or moving the story forward. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad. And as a dungeon master, you need to allow them to do that thing, just like they need to allow you to do your thing, which is everybody needs to learn to improvise, so you need to give everybody a bit of a break. That is my advice to you with regard to improvising. There are many other techniques for improvising. These are the ones that I use the most, which is why I've presented them. It's the ones that I can say I've found more useful than other techniques. So if you have any questions or feedback, use the comments section now. And all the best with your improvising in your games. Please give it a go. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay, let's get back to the chat, and then let's get cracking and do some work. Okay, right, let's just see, where am I? Hopefully that didn't come across as being too much of a, too hard, but yeah. Maybe it will, maybe it will. So let's get through the chat very quickly, and let's just get on, because this is a work day. This is a day where you have to get stuff done. So if you have questions, fire them out now. Now let's have a look at the poll. How are we doing? Are we doing shops today, or are we doing taverns? Okay, it looks like we will be doing shop names. Part of my reason for doing shop names is we were leading up into Christmas, so I thought it would be appropriate. I'm going to give you a format that's nice and simple to follow. Okay, so it's easy for you to figure out. I'll put a hashtag into the chat very shortly. So yes, 59%. Undecided 14, just watching 27%. Okay, all right, cool. Hello, Noroak. I said hi to Chris Manthia. Hello, how are you? Noroak is a patron, by the way. Hello, Sika, supporter of the channel. Dungeons and Chronics. Hello, how are you doing? Spirit Wolf is here and ready to go. We've got Pat Sherwood, who is a patron and also a moderator. Welcome. Nacho Man, also a patron. Hello, how are you doing? Now, if you can't put anything into the chat, please subscribe. It's set to subscriber only. This is to keep the bots out and to make sure we can actually do our job, which is to create something together. This is what we do, okay? Hello, Richard. How are you doing? I like the stream. Hit those thumbs up, boys. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Some support from people to do that is great. Thank you, Richard. Dinomancer, also a patron. How are you doing? Sammy 3D, how are you doing? Hello, from Georgia. And Fender. Hello, Fender. Fender is also a patron and a moderator. Welcome to the stream, buddy. I see Story Cubes on Amazon, but where do you get the plot twist cards from? Or do you want me to send you a link? I can send you a link. I'm probably one of the few people who've done videos on plot twist cards on YouTube. Woolmage. Hello, Arch Little. Hello, Arch Little. How are you doing? All right, give me a second if I can find this for you, and then we'll get started. I hope you guys have already started coming up with ideas for names of shops. So, plot twist cards. There we go. Found it. That was not too difficult. This is the problem with this link is this is the American Amazon link. Okay, so if you are in a different part of the world, it's going to not work quite so well. It's also an Amazon affiliate link, so I get a little kickback. You pay the same price, but I get a little bit of money from you using this link. So this is what you'll find where you'll find your plot twist cards. Okay, and that link there. All right. And I guess while I'm at it, do people want my Discord? I'll give you my Discord as well. For those of you who aren't joined up to Discord, this is where you can actually come and talk to me by voice chat and video chat. It is not restricted to just patrons. Maybe that day will come, but currently it hasn't happened. Okay, invite people. Invite people, that's the one. I will invite people with a little copy, and I will drop that into here. This is the Discord. Okay. All right. So hopefully that has solved everybody's there's issues. So here's the plan for today. Let me just type it into the chat, and then we'll get started. I'm going to do a hashtag. Now, name a shop. Now, part of the name of the shop needs to include something unique. Unique. Oh God, I'm gonna have trouble spelling now. Unique. Unique. And the name must indicate the shop function. So what that means is when you create a name, what I want you to do is create a name that indicates what its function is and what differentiates it from every other shop like it. So to give you an example of this, I'm going to say the type of shop we're dealing with is, say, a blacksmith. So we would call it Fred's Blacksmith. Okay, Fred being the owner of the blacksmith. Okay, and the fact that we have blacksmith there. Now it might be just Fred's Smithy. That's fine too. What I've been asked to do by patrons is to list all of the names specifically into categories. So if we're dealing with a general store, all the general store names will go together in the document that I make up, which I'm going to do in a second. All of the blacksmiths will go together. If we're dealing with a wheelwright, all those will go together. If there's a stable involved, all those will go together. If there is an inn, all those will go together. What I don't want us to do, yes, Norok, you've got it, Schubert's, shoes and cobbles. That's a good example. So Schubert's is basically the distinguishing thing. Okay, maybe the name of the owner or what they've decided to call themselves. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be the name of the person who owns it. It just needs to be something that differentiates it from every other shoes and cobblers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the wonky wand, rejected magic items. So Nacho Man's got a good... So this is basically a shop that sells wands. We know what that is. So everybody is starting to... Okay, so people want to get started. Okay, so do you understand what I mean? I'm going to say hashtag no taverns. Next time, please. No, next. Come on, can I get this in? Next time. I'm going to have to be quick. You guys are going fast. Please. Okay, so what we will do is if people want us to do taverns, we'll do that as a different stream, but not today. Okay. Nasty ingredients. All right, so I'll pull up my phone. You want to have a coffee house. I'm not putting the no taverns coffee house. That's not, I will put down the coffee house if you want, but it doesn't really distinguish it from every other coffee house, does it? So, all right. So moving over to here, opening this up, waiting for my phone to catch up. I will be looking at my phone a lot. I will take a break at the hour mark, and yeah. That's how we'll work this. I expect we'll get quite a lot done. I will, if the chat gets quiet and you guys see it'll kind of get stuck, I'm going to give you some prompts, okay? But for now, I'm not going to give you any prompts since you guys have been doing pretty well, like all of you, the ladies, the men, like everybody's been doing fantastic. So I'm only going to give you a prompt if I feel it's absolutely necessary to do so. That seems reasonable. I think we're in business. So let's just move this over. And maybe it's going to be just a smidgen. Maybe my header will be just a fraction too big. Let's just make myself a little bit smaller and transition over. Okay, all right. Because you don't really need to see me. I'm not that exciting. Okay. So we've got that done. And I will go back to my workspace. So my first issue is I need to make a shoe shop. Since we're having a shoe shop, we'll add in the first person's suggestion, which is Norokes, Schubert's, shoes, and cobbles. So let's go with a bold, underline, Schubert's, Now, if you're wondering what the point of doing this is, one of the things that you will find as you're improvising is coming up with shop names can happen is not so much because you haven't done your homework, but because players suddenly decide they want to buy something and you haven't thought of making up that shop. Okay, wand shop. Actually, I'm not going to call it a wand shop. I'm going to call it magic shops. And look, whether you sell permanent magic items or you sell consumable magic items or you just sell spell casting focuses, it doesn't matter. We'll still have a magic shop section. Okay, I think that's a reasonable thing to do. I think we're going to cause untold stress to ourselves by doing that. The wonky wand. The wonky wand. So, oops, the wand. Now, I think that will be just fine as is. Do you want me to put in that that additional note there with regard to the fact that this is where you find rejected magic items? I think that's what your intention is, Nacho Man. Shop of rejected magic items. If that's what you want me to add in there rather than just the name, that's fine, I'll do that. Seeker has put down the Poison Fang Alchemy Supplies. So what we're dealing with is an alchemist supplier. So what will that fall under? I think what it's going to fall under is magical supplies. Is it magical supplies? No, it's actually it is essentially another type of. It's just another type of magic shop, really. That's really all it is. So we'll just add it to that list. Poison Fang. Poison Fang Alchemy Supplies. Alchemy Supplies. Thank you, Seeker. Nice and addition. Didn't. Holy supplies. I don't know. Is it divine supplies? Divine. I don't know. I don't know what am I doing with that? I don't know. I'll just leave it. Shoe Bert. Said like shoe and Bert. As in Bart Simpson is putting on shoes. Nasty ingredients. Nasty ingredients? Is that what your addition to this is supposed to be? So you want a little note that says nasty ingredients. Ingredients. Okay. I mean, it's no skin off my nose if we add this to the list, because it's not like you're not going to be able to change it yourself. So you want a coffee house. I feel like there's a coffee house coming. A cafe is not a tavern. Right. I feel like, no, this feels like we're going down the tavern route. So I'm going to leave it away. I'm going to leave in that, Seeker. Sorry. Part and parcel components and supplies. So, Paul, part and parcels, components and supplies. I'm not entirely sure what that is supposed to be. So, no drunkards allowed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it under supplies because I don't know what else to do with that at present. Is it hardware supplies? Is it part and parcel components and supplies? I'm just going to put supplies. I don't know what else to do with that. It's... Yeah, I don't know what else to do with it at the present time. If there's a category that we need to put it under, then you'll let me know. But I think right now that's what we'll do. Okay. Yeah. Part and parcels. Ooh. Man, I've got to do something about this this desk. This keyboard is in such a particularly odd position. Component and supplies. Part and parcel. Part and parcel is the name, components and supplies is what the idea is. I think that's what you're going for. I think I read that wrong. Okay. So part and parcels is just the descriptor of it. Okay, I think components and supplies. I think that's what you're after, correct? You let me know if I got it wrong. Sure you will. And we'll add this here. That's another one. Okay. Names for smithies. The Cracked Anvil. Oh my gosh, Dinomancer. Nichols Forge. Coal Valley. Smoky's Smithy. Soot and Sweet. Steel Town. Death Bellows. No Forgeries Forge. Okay. Wow. Fred's Fantasy Factory. Thank you, Sammy. I guess we'll put that down as what. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to put down the word Fred, but since we weren't going with the F word, if you haven't noticed, when I'm sometimes presenting stuff, I have this very nasty tendency to repeat the same phrase, which is actually, and, or actually this, or frankly, I think, frankly. So we could just change my name from Fred to Frank. So I'm going to call it Frank's Fantasy Factory. Okay? Frank's Fantasy Factory. Factory. Is that under supplies? Maybe that's under a factory. Okay, we'll separate it a little bit. Factory and warehouse. That's the category for that one. We'll go bold. Underline. I need to go back and deal with all the smithies. Going to be a few smithies to type in there. And let's just drop on down to the next line. Feel free to create something that I can just add into the categories of shoe shop, magic shop, supplies, factory, warehouse. Not a problem. Okay, blacksmith. That is a category. Always need a blacksmith, do we not? So we have quite a few names here. The Cracked Anvil. We'll put a bold in there. And we will put that name in there. And we'll just to give that a little bit of a flickety flicky flocky. Just like that. I need some water. Now, for those of you who are getting stuck, I'm going to roll some story cube, a story cube. I'm going to give you the image of a story cube, and you are going to decide what you're going to do with that. For those of you who are stuck and you are not too sure, because this was part of the point, is to use these tools to show you how to do this. What I'm going to do is I've got 9 dice. I'm going to roll 1 dice. You don't have to use the cube as an idea point, but I want you to see if you can. So the first one I'm rolling. This is a magnifying glass. It's an image of a magnifying glass. Okay, so that's your first one to contend with. See how you do with that. While I type down all of these blacksmiths. So Nichols Forge. I think Nichols Forge is a pretty good name. Coal Valley. Coal Valley. What else? Smoky Smithy. Smoky Smithy. I think that's right. Did I get it? Yep. So scroll us up a bit more so you can actually see what's going on. It's a bit more in the middle of the screen. We had Scott and Sweet. Soot and Sweet. Soot and Sweat. Soot and Sweat. Soot and Sweat. It's a clever name, Soot and Sweat. Steel Town. I kind of like Steel Town. I feel like, is that from a video game? Steel Town. The Death Bellows. I'm assuming that you're referring to the bellows on the smith that feed the or power that forge. And then we've got, what else? No forges, forge. No forges forge. Cool, it's a bit of a mouthful. No forges forge. Oh, all right, there's a few smithies down there now. Okay, that God knows how far behind I am, but we'll see how we manage. Screaming Banshee, herbs, and elixirs. I feel like that is a magic shop of some kind. So we'll put that into there. Thank you, Dungeons and Chronics, for your suggestion. Screaming Banshee, herbs, and elixirs. Elixirs. Okay. What did I do there? I did something wrong. Oh, I spelt it wrong. Elixirs. There we go. And elixirs. And then we'll do this. That'll do. That's fine. We've got that sorted out. Next one. DC. They work great, but screaming is a common side effect. Nice. Fred's hats. Are we really going to make a shop? The Conjurer's Cafe. Okay, you want a cafe. Fine, I'll give you a cafe section. I feel like the cafe thing is it's going to come. Try not to turn this, and I know you will. Do not turn this, please, into a. We're not supposed to do taverns, but we're actually doing taverns. Okay, because I'm very aware of your sense of humor. Those of you who follow me a lot, I know what you are up to sometimes. It's not disguised well at all. Anyway, cafe. How the heck do we get a cafe? I feel like we've suddenly yuppieized the Dungeons and Dragons world creation process. Really? Okay, it's there. It's there. I did it. Okay, next one. Us fantastic. Paul, I don't understand what that is. You're going to have to explain. Feeling us fantastic. I can't even say that. No, I can't even. The combination of words just goes. Bleh. I don't know what to do with that, Paul. I don't know. Dinomancer. Names for clothing shops. Oh my God. Here we go. Needlework Emporium. He's Dinomancer. Are you just taking this from your own homebrew? Clothing and shoe shops. Okay. Or are you taking this from somebody else's product? Or are you just super creative? I don't know which one to go with. Oh, I know that's better, Paul. I can see it underneath there now. That's going to be a lot easier. So here's the clothing. Needlework Emporium. Emporium. Right. So yeah, if you haven't figured it out, you should be poaching these names for your own games, people. Bards, welcome. Tailors. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with my head, I'm looking at my phone, which is on my desk. Then I'm going to my keyboard because my head's already kind of down there, and then of course the camera is there, so my head is down all the time. So all you see is like the top of my head. I'm working. I can't see the chat because I'm looking at the document. So if you're wondering what the heck is going on with Fred's head, that's what's going on. Really interesting stuff. Never what? Neverland? Never Fay. We never stray too far from the nest. Okay. Pre-loved gnome to Goliath discount garments. Good Lord, really? Pre-loved dear gnome to Goliath. I feel like it's a shop that's going to go out of business. It's just a bit too specific. Their market share is going to be tiny. Discount discount garments. Good Lord. Well, I've typed it in. How's that sound? Tall order tailors. Tall order tailors. Okay. Tall order tailors. Okay. I'm doing another dice. Rolling another dice. Another one of these things. I did a magnifying glass before. I've rolled a world. God help you figure that one out. So on this dice, this Rory Story Cube, you can see there's a world image. So use that to figure out your shop name now. Good luck. Maybe it's tourist travel shop. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's to do with travel. I don't like let's go down to the ship dockyards and do some business down there. Okay, so let's go here. Gnome stake threads. Okay. Again, I feel like gnome. If you're making clothing for gnomes, not that I'm saying that gnomes can't make clothing for anybody. Wouldn't want to say that. So, it does seem very specific. Will they survive? Gnome stake. Yep, I got it. I got the name. Okay, Dinomancer. Your collection of names I've got. It's fantastic. Paraphernalia. I feel like this is a magic shop of some kind. I don't know if Paul, you'll tell me if it's in the wrong place and if the intention was very different. Oh my God. I got to get this name right. Fantastic. Paraphernalia. Furna. My eyes are going. There's so much light being beamed into this room right now to keep so you can actually see me. One over there. Okay. I think we've got it. No, do not mess with it, Google. Okay. All right, we've got that name. Whew, man. Fred's Fabulous Haberdashery. Again, haberdashery, this kind of clothing, isn't it? I am going to go with Frank, not Fred. We're not using Fred. I know you're going to call everything Fred. If I see another Fred named thing, I'm ignoring it. Okay? Fabulous haberdashery. Yeah. Haberdashery. Okay. We've got a haberdashery now. Seeker, what have you got here? Laid to rest. Trusted embalmers and wood stake supplies. Oh, good Lord. I feel like that's a divine sort of store, isn't it? You're trying to kill vampires, aren't you? Would that be about right? I think you're trying to kill vampires. So this is laid to rest. For your vampire supplies, go to laid to rest. Trusted embalmers. Is this supposed to be a funeral home? If it's supposed to be a funeral home, let me know. Okay, right now I feel like it's supposed to be for killing vampires. Wooden stake and okay, so it's wooden stake, supplies. Is it supplies? It is supplier. So I think what you're trying to put in here is if it's a funeral home. Funeral home and wood stake supplier. Okay. Okay, all right. I'm not sure if I got this correct, so you'll have to let me know, Seeker, if I've lost my marbles and I put it in the wrong place. Okay, let's do that. All right. Okay, so next, what do we got here? Bloodbath and Beyond. So Nacho Man, Bloodbath and Beyond. I don't know what sort of shop is it supposed to go? Where is it supposed to go? Bloodbath and Beyond. It's a good question. Where would Bloodbath and Beyond go? Bloodbath and Beyond. I'm going to put Bloodbath and Beyond down here somewhere. I just don't know where to put it. Bloodbath and Beyond. Is this a weapons store? Is this place where they buy weapons? That's probably a supplier that we need to have, is something where you can buy weapons and stuff like that. Oh, Paul, what have you said here, Paul? Oh, it's writing. It's writing supplies. Writing materials. Okay. Okay, writing materials. Writing materials. Supplier. Where is it? I'll take it out of here and I'll put it under supplier. Okay. Writing supplies. Writing materials. I think that's what, yeah, that's what you're after, correct? Okay. Cosmanthia, what do you got here? Belladonna's, concordant, potions and ointments. Okay, all right, so that's magic stuff, isn't it, really? Okay. Belladonna. Belladonna's concordance, concoctions. I think it's concoctions. Yeah, it is. Okay, potions. My eyes are going funny again, and ointments. Oh, man. Ointments. All right, that's that one done. Big Betsy's Bakery. Oh, so you want a bakery. It's a food shop. It's a food shops. Food. No, food. It's a bakery. It's a cafe, basically. Bakery, cafe. So I'm putting it here. We don't have any general stores. We haven't seen any general stores mentioned so far. Betsy's Bakery. For those of you who haven't figured out, what they are doing in the chat for this live stream is more important than what I'm doing on the screen. All I'm doing is writing down their ideas. All this stuff I will put up on Patreon as an open document that they can just go in there. They don't even have to cut and paste. They can just directly affect the document. This is what we do. And those of you who are here and not part of Patreon, you're just going to copy down the ideas you like. Like that's how we work here. Okay, so I can't say it 10 times fast. It's too hard. Exorcist excursions, call out service available. So Seeker, that's what is that? Exorcist excursions. It's a different kettle of fish again, isn't it? It's I'm not too sure what it is. Oh, Bloodbath and Beyond. I'm going to just write it down and you'll tell me where I'm supposed to stick it. Exorcist. I feel like it's a Ghostbuster of some kind, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're trying to do with that. Is that the intention? Excursions. Call out service available. Okay. In brackets, I think this is Ghostbusters. Isn't it? Question mark. I think that's Ghostbusters we're talking about here. Sturge Blood Bank. A Sturge Blood Bank? Where do I stick Sturge Blood Bank? Okay. Sturge. Oh no, it's a supplier, isn't it? Sturge Blood Bank. It's a blood bank. Cut it, Fred. What are you... That wasn't hard to figure out, was it? No, not really. I put that in the suppliers section where it's supposed to be, which means this is going here, which is Sturge Blood Bank. Where all your vampires want to go and get their meals. Okay, why is this message held for review, Noroak? Chris Manthia sounds like it could be run by a hag in disguise. Why is that an issue? Show. Okay, got it. The Everlasting Anvil. This is the first shop I ever created. Where does it go, Noroak, though? Oh, it's, the Everlasting Anvil would be a blacksmith. Correct? Okay. The Everlasting Anvil. Okay, I think I got that one sorted out. For some reason, Fendar has retracted his message, which is fine. Is at the top of the hour already. I'm going to give you a new dice roll for you to figure out some stuff with. I'm going to warn you now. One. We're already starting to head on to page 2. Okay, it's only been half an hour. Okay, I've just rolled a wand. So wand supplies, names of wand supplies. Do not give me the name from Harry Potter. Just leave that one alone. Okay. But wand supplies. So how far behind am I? I am so far behind it is not even remotely funny. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go back to where Fendar retracted his message. So I know where it is. I'm going to go hashtag. We need some general stores, people. Create. Well, come on. Create some general stores. It's going to take me a long time to go back through this live stream and get all the names down, I suspect. Okay, so I am going to take a break, and then I'm going to try to come back and catch up with this, which I don't hold out too much hope, but I will do my very best. So while you are waiting, Arnold will look after you, and then I will be back, and we will continue in 5 or less minutes. 5 or less minutes. Okay. Here I come. Here I come back again. How I do. Ooh. Okay. Let's get back into the saddle. Get some more water into me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off a whole bunch of names to help you come up with some ideas for some shops. And then I'm going to go back to typing stuff in, okay? So here I come. I'm back. So there we go. There it is. There I am. Here he is. Let us do this. So, based off now, I'm using a random chart, and I'm going to call out the names very quickly, and we'll see how this works for you, okay? So, names I'm going to say is Lively, Scratchy, Nobby, Ruddy, Mary, Sticky, Abandoned, Courageous, Itchy, Handsome, Traveller, Basin, Bountiful, Flask, So, Lank, Drench, Serpent, Lion, Baylor, Reckless, Gleaming, King, Jagged, Cauldron, Cozy, Goat, Bard, Bottle, Night, Desert, Frosty, Duck, Regal, Meager, Crevice, Embellished, Dagger, Horse, Sailor, Intrepid, Nymph, Mysterious, Wench, Castle, Muddy, Hospitable, Helm, Fox, Golden, Dwarf, Wyvern, Haven, Silver, Den, Lantern. Yeah, so there you go. There's a whole bunch of names I've just called out off a chart that will hopefully help you with creating your shop name. Okay, let's go back to what we were doing here, which is me trying to write down. Steel Town is a play on the Junkie Town from, oh right, MM3. Yes, Steel Town, Junkie Town. I get it. I think wasn't there a place called Steel City in a movie? Or was it Steel Town? I can't remember. Copper's Connection. Michael, hello Michael, how are you? Copper's Connection, I'm trying to figure out where it's supposed to go. Whispering Aroma. Copper's Connection. Is that a smithy? Copper's Connection. And then you had the Whispering Aroma. Whispering Aroma, I suppose, is the Whispering Aroma a magic shop or a supplier? I'm just going to put under supplier. I just don't know what it's supplying. I think that's where it's supposed to go. You'll let me know if I'm wrong. Do my best to see if I can catch up to that. The Insane Witch King, a designer clothing store. Okay, Milton. Hello, Milton Knowles. How are you doing? So Milton is gone with a clothing store. The Insane Witch King. And this is a designer. Design clothing shop. Clothing store. Okay, I got it. All right, cool. Agatha's Brews and Crackers. Agatha's Brews and Crackers sounds like, is that a cafe? Isn't it? Agatha's Brews and, yeah, I think that's a cafe. Why are we getting so many cafes? I said no taverns, and so they're all doing cafes now. Okay, Agatha's Brews and come on, get the and in there, Crackers. Okay, so we've got Agatha's Brews and Crackers. Diabetes. Okay, right. Yes. Thank you, Nora. Okay, so magic shops. Dinomancer's really put in a lot of work here. You didn't get this here. Mostly working magics, gnome stake magic items, got magic spells from beyond. Okay, all right. Hocus pocus. Okay, I get it. All right, so we'll go back to magic shops. Did I not? Did I miss this? Somehow did I? Okay, mostly working magics. Okay, so that's that one, and then what? We got gnome stake. Well, hang on, it was gnome stake magic items. Now I had another gnome stake somewhere else. Whether it's gnome stake threads. Oh, it's gnome stake. Oh, I get it. Gnome stake. Same owner, different business. That's my assumption. Okay. Got magics. Got magic. Got magic. You got a question mark here. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Got magic. Okay, got magic. I think. Okay, spells from beyond. Whoa. Spells from beyond. Okay. El Grio, the Magnificent. Is that what we're trying to? Is that what you're trying to communicate to me? Cool, blimey. Okay, El Griog, the Magnificent. Whoops, Magnificent, and then Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is was it based off the movie? It's not exactly something that we need to worry about copyright for, though. Hocus Pocus. Hocus to Pocus. It's pretty obvious as a name too, isn't it? Is a wearable art studio. A wearable art studio. Wearable art studio. Okay. Insane Witch Keen. Oh, I see. I get it. Let's R us. Michael, what is let's R us? I mean, I'll put it down. I just don't know what sort of shop it is. I'll put it down the bottom here. I'm not totally sure what that's all about. Letters are us. Us. Not sure what to do with that one. Don't mean it's a Fred. I'm just wired on caffeine, and you got HD D&D. Okay, that would explain a lot then. I was like, Dynamance is not like that when I talk to him. So what's going on here? It's a linen. Oh, okay, linen cloth, loin cloth warehouse. I thought that was a loincloth. I thought it was a designer clothing store. So now it's something else. You're getting me confused. You're giving me too many things. Dungeon wares. Love that we cater to barbarians. The loincloth warehouse. Okay. All right. Okay. Hats. Don't start with the hats. Monster Hunters. Mad Mania. We sell anything you could possibly need to slay any creature that came across. We're not liable for any adventuring stupidity that can. Okay, Norake. All right. I should have guessed that this was going to be okay. So this is. What do we call it? It's supplies, but it's a very specific supplies, isn't it? Monsters. No monster. Hunter. God. Monster Hunter. Mad. Mania. So this is a adventuring supplies. That's what it is. Adventuring supplies. I think that's what we're dealing with here. And weapons. Adventuring supplies and weapons. I think that is your intention with that, correct? You let me know if I'm wrong. Then saying King Fred, it could be a clothing teddy bear short story. I suppose it could be silver on the honest, gold on the cheap pawn. Silver on the honest, gold on the cheap pawn. Okay, so silver on the honest, gold on the cheap pawn. I'm a little unsure what we're dealing with there. I'm assuming this is a general store. Is this what we're talking about here? General store? Was that your intention, Derry? I'm not sure. Okay, so new Rory story cube. Rolling it. I got a sheep. It's a little sheep. I'm in New Zealand, so it's very appropriate. Okay, sheep it is. So this is the silver on the honest. I'm assuming this is a general store. If it's not a general store or not intended to be, you will let me know. But it's not clear from the name what its function is. This is one of the things I say. You've got to make it unique, but you've also got to indicate its purpose in the name. Otherwise, it makes it very difficult. One of the best things, best ways is why you do this, is why you give it a unique name that stands out from everything else, and why you also indicate its purpose in the name of the business or shop, is it makes it easy for players to understand what the heck it is, rather than you having to say, this is a funeral home, or this is a cafe, or this is a blacksmith. Okay, gold on the cheap pawn. I'm assuming that's what we were wanting here. I'm still a little confused about that one, but we'll put a question mark there. We'll come back to it if we need to. Okay, Seeker, basically it's a funeral home, but they also specialise in making things stay dead. So I was right. It is a funeral home and a wood stake supplier. Okay. So it's Ghostbusters. Funeral home. How come we've got so many funeral homes? Okay, so we'll go put this up the top here. Cut. Thank you for at least explaining that to me. Otherwise, I might have been a little bit lost. Loster than I already am. Okay. Oh, good Lord, we've still got like 40 minutes left to go. Okay, let's keep going then, Fred. Yeah. Hello, what do you got here, Fender? Is that a Left 4 Dead reference? I think it is a Left 4 Dead reference. Laid to rest. Left 4 Dead. Becoming a revenant ghoul. No, we don't want that. Supply shops. You need these. Knickknacks. Oh my God, Dynamancer's gone bananas. Here we go. Supply shops. I hope that the name indicates what they supply. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of problems. The stockpile, don't get your lost haberdashery. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Dynamancer's doing it again. Knickknacks. Okay, knickknacks. And heavy sacks. And haversacks. Oh, it's hard to see off the screen. It's just too small. I'm losing track of where I'm looking. Sacks. Haversacks. Okay. Don't go without. Really? Don't go without? Don't go without. I'll pull that up a little bit higher so you can actually see what's going on under supplies. Assorted items. Okay. A to Z needs. A dash Z needs. Okay, got it. The stockpile. Don't get lost haberdashery. Okay. Get lost haberdashery. We've got a lot of haberdasheries. We don't have a lot of general stores. We just go down and get stuff. Haberdashery, haberdashery, haberdashery. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I got through that one. Pawn shop. Only takes silver. Everything in gold. Advertising everywhere. Gold stocks on a rise. Da da da. Okay, I see. Wheel and Woad fortune cookies. Oh, okay, Wheel and Woad. I think I know what that is supposed to be. So, where did I put your copper's connection? No, silver and gold. Where did I stick them? I put them down the bottom, didn't I? It's not a general store. It's a pawn shop. These are pawn shops. Okay, got it. Pawn shops. Okay, got it. That's gonna, yeah. Thank you for letting me know that. Makes life a little bit easier. I know what it is. It is this. No, that's not gonna work. Let's try that again. And flick it around. Yep, we can put a full stop there. We know what they are now. Got it. Sweet. Still don't have any real general stores though. Okay. Wheel and Woad fortune cookies. Wheel and Woad fortune cookies. That's. I'm not entirely sure what Wheel and Woad is. Is it a cafe, or is it something else, Norok? I don't know. Wheel and Woad. Woad's fortune. Fortune cookies. We've got enough cafes, people. Let's do some general stores, okay? Milton, you're still on this the insane Witch King. You could make it a shop called a warehouse. Yeah. I've done my break, so we're all good. Let's keep going. Oatmeal cookies. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Unless all general stores are big box unless outliers. Okay. Okay, so Seeker said so that means it's not so much a funeral home. Divine Supplies, funeral home, and Divine Supplies. Funeral home, oh god, and Divine Supplies. If I have to break it up, I will. So it's basically a, so it's not really a funeral home. It is a ghost busting service. Service. Okay, all right, I got that. I think that's all worked out there. What do you got here, Sammy? Mort's cut up and dry barber shop. A barber shop. Okay, all right, let's do a barber shop. We haven't got a barber shop in here somewhere. Don't think so. No. Barber. Barber and no, can't do that. If I start singing, I'm gonna probably get hit by YouTube's copyright stuff. Won't I? No singing on streams. You can't sing on the streams, Fred. Don't do it. Not that anybody wants to hear me singing, I'd imagine. Barber shop. This is Mort's cut up and dry and die and die and die. Okay, so that's here we go. We've got a barber shop now. It's the number. Oh God, man, my eyes. Going from the small text to the big text. Looking here, looking left, looking right. I'm just rolling another Rory story cube. I've gone and rolled a star. Very appropriate for Christmas. I've rolled a star. I don't know if that'll help you, but we'll see if it does. It'll be interesting. I would be interested to see the toy boat. 3 times quick. My party trick. I don't understand. The toy boat. What is the toy boat? The toy boat. I'll write down the toy boat. I just don't understand. I'm lost. Toy boat. Okay. The Insane Witch King General Store. We're not. I'm not having the Insane Witch King under every single category. It's not going to happen, Milton. Okay. It's not going to happen. You have to create a different name. Okay. I'm fine with the Insane Witch King being a designer clothing shop, but I'm not putting it under every single category. It's not happening. What do you got here, Derry? Embalmer will place. I don't know. I understand what that means. Derry, I'm lost. You've lost me completely. Definitely not stolen knickknacks and baubles. Is that a name of a store, or is that just a comment that's off the cuff? Okay, moving on. Combat shops. Okay, alright, so we're now talking about arms, aren't we? Do I have one of those yet? No, it's blacksmith, it's supplies, magic shop. No, I don't think I do. Supplies. So this is... So we're basically talking about weapons and armor shops. And armor shops. Okay, weapons and armor shops. Let's make a nice big list of what you've got here. Let's see. Let's do that and that. And what do we got here? Walmart. Oh, good Lord, Walmart. Should have guessed. Even though I don't even have Walmart in New Zealand, I get the joke. I get it. I understand. I know where you're coming from with that one. I saw that. I understand the reference. Okay. Killing business. Really? Killing business? Cool. Killing business. Killing business. Okay. Discount blooded weapons. Okay. Okay. All right. Blooded weapons. Hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing. Yeah. No, I'm going to get rid of the name. Here we go. Okay, the Tentis Shack. The what? I'm a little lost as to what's going on here. Okay, but I've got the name down. And then what are you doing here? Killer discounts? Okay. Righto. Exquisite arms. Okay, I think I need to give you some more ideas, people. Here, I'm rolling another dice. It's a walking cane. God knows what you're supposed to do with that one. A walking cane from the dice. Okay, I'm rolling another one. A tree. It's a tree. That's right, it's a tree. Oh my God, we're going to wind up with a whole lot of... we're going to wind up with a garden centre next. Oh no. Okay, it's a tree. Okay, I rolled a tree on the dice. Okay, so rolling up. Exquisite arms. What's the next time? You've got self-defense suppliers. Yeah, okay. Could exist in this world, these names, you realise? not in a fantasy world, just our own world. Unarmed is unprepared. Oh, interesting. Unarmed is unprepared. As a name. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Not bad, I have to say. I am curious as to how far down Curious could be cursed. Antiques. Well, the name is nice and simple. I feel like it is a supplier of some kind. It's not a magic shop. It's not that. It's not a factory. It's not a general store. It's not a pawn shop. So I'll put it under supplies. I can't think of anything else. Curious could be cursed antiques. No, it is. It is a magic store. Cursed. Sorry, almost didn't quite pick up on that. Thank you, Rory. I got it now. Curious could, be cursed antiques. Did I just do another ball? Yeah, I did. Balled up again. All right, so pawn shop, corpse reclaim. You obviously you very. You do seem preoccupied with pawn shops here, dearie. Okay. I mean, corpse removal does seem like a funeral home. Corpse removal. There's a joke in here somewhere that I'm not picking up on. The magic stick. No, I'm not doing any more insane witch king stuff. It's enough's enough. Wondering what? No. God, I don't watch this anything. Thank God I don't watch anything I can't type on. Yes, wand shops. Okay, so Dynamancer's got some wand shops. So we're going to go to magic shops. And hopefully the name tells us what we need to know. Okay. The yew wooden wand. You wouldn't want this. This, I'm confused. I don't know why is the word this there? It must be an error. The weirwood wands. There we go. So now look, see, unique name and what the shop is. This is the format we try to work with. Wally's wands. Oh my gosh, I feel like Wally DM has just been entered into the Wally's wands. Okay, not bad, pretty good. Dynamancer, pretty good. I'm impressed. Norok, they buy, don't sell, general store. Okay, the buy, don't sell, general store. Yes. Okay, now we've got a general store. Finally, there's a general store. The buy, don't sell. General store. Okay. All right. So the name is nice and easy for us to figure out what's going on here. No more. I'm not reading it out. General shops. Okay, now we're cooking. We've got general shops. How much time? Oh, good. We've still got 25 minutes. This is going to be a long document, people. And then, Dairy's gone and put names of shops in here. BJ's, is it BJ's? BJ's General Store. Okay. I'm just going to put BJ and the Beer. Is it BJ and the Beer? I think it was wasn't that an old TV series? Okay, so general sorts. You need this. You need these. You need these. Okay, you need these. Ah, dear. You need these. Got it. Knickknacks and heavy sacks. Oh, so knickknacks and heavy sacks is in the wrong place. Where is that supposed to be? Where is knickknacks and heavy sacks? No. No. Ah, there it is. It's supposed to be under general store. So cut. Go down to general store. Put it in here. Okay, alright, so knickknacks and heavy sacks are supposed to be there. Now I understand where that's supposed to go. Don't go without. Don't go without. Don't go without. Don't go without. Yeah, okay. Did I just lose my place? No, I haven't. The stockpile gets lost haberdashery, just everything. So these are a whole lot of things that I put in the wrong place. Okay, so where is this? This is under suppliers. I cannot take it from the suppliers section. So this is don't go without, assorted items, stockpile, don't get lost haberdashery. Okay, so we'll take them out of there, cut that, and we'll put them under general stores. Paste. And we get rid of this name because we've already got it. And that sorted that out. Okay, I got it. All right, cool. I got that one from Baby Wipes. Name for the wand shop, Just Wander. Just Wanders. Just Wanders. Good. Thank you for making it clear where it goes. And the name kind of tells you what you're getting. Just Wonders. As in a fish called Wanda. A wand shop. Okay, so that's made it clear what it is. Cool, that's easy to figure out. Thank you, Fender. Got that. That was made a lot easier for me. Rainbow flag. I don't understand. Steptoe and Sons second-hand shop. Okay, Steptoe and Sons. Second-hand shop. Supplies. That's like in the old TV series, right? Steptoe and Son. Sons. Second-hand shop. Okay. Is that what we're doing here? Second-hand shop? I think that's what you're after. It's some sort of supplier, correct? The Wildwood Pet Shop. The Wildwood Pet Shop. We have a pet shop. Selling savage, untamed creatures for your experienced tamers. Okay, this is a supplier. Okay. The Wildwood Pet Shop. Good Lord. Pet shop. Sells savage. And whoopsies. Doesn't sell whoopsies, sells and untamed creatures. Okay. Hurdlestone Yard. Second-hand shop. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm getting it. Milton, I've just realised I've been reading your name, which is so long, as the name of the shop. So I apologise if I've been calling you out, because my brain is like gone. It's really hard. I've got the text that's small here on my phone. I've got the larger text on the computer screen so I can actually see what I'm typing. And yes, my mistake. Okay. Hurdlestone Yard. Okay. So it's a second-hand shop. Okay, I've got a second-hand shop again, another supplier. Okay, what have I got here? I don't know what that's... Okay. The illuminating lantern for all of your lantern needs. Okay, so that's a supplier. That's adventuring gear, though, isn't it? Don't we have an adventuring gear location? Don't we have an adventure section for adventuring gear? I felt like we did, but maybe I'm wrong. Armor, supplies. No. We'll just go on to general supplies. Here we go. So it was called the Illuminated Lantern. Oh, come on. Lantern. This is a lantern, torch, and candle supplier. This is very specific. Okay, don't know. What do you got here? General store. Carl's Insane Discounts. Carl's Insane Discounts? Can I find it? Possibly. Insane discounts. I feel like Carl's Insane Discounts is a real place in the real world, Paul. Tools and Tinkers General Store. Okay, Norak, got it. And Tinkers General Store. General Store. Okay, yep, I got that one. The Good General's Goods. Ah, nice play on words. The Good General's Goods. Pretty clever. Perpetual yard sale location can be announced. I'm lost. You lost me completely. You've lost me, dearie. I don't understand. Perpetual yard sale? It's a perpetual yard sale. So that is I guess it's just supposed to be called perpetual yard sale. Where does that go? Suppliers, perpetual yard sale. Here we go. Perpetual yard sale. What is this? A junkyard? Junkyard? I think that's a junkyard. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe I got it wrong. You tell me. Has stakes in all the departments. No, we're not doing that, Dynamancer. I'm not doing a. We're not doing monopolies in this. I'm not doing that. Gnome vampire source slayer. Okay, we're losing it now. Corporal punishment, spams, and iron rations and steel walls. You have got to be kidding. Corporal punishment, spam, and iron rations and steel walls. That is a long ass name. Like, they will go out of business by the time people have started to finish reading that name, they're like, oh, not going there. There's a point where you have to keep your name short, otherwise nobody wants to go and do any business there. Punishments, spam. Okay, I'm just going to do that. I don't know what else to do. I'm not doing all the other stuff. It's just too much. Crazy caffeine and monster pie. Spirit Wolf, where did this come from? It's a caffeine and monster pie. This is a cafe, correct? We're back to doing cafes again. Jeez. Oh, God. Crazy caffeine. Crazy caffeine and monster pie. I mean, you know, there are things called ins. We could do with some ins. Like, there are no... Here we go. I'll roll in another dice. Oh, no. Okay, so it's a sleeping person. It's a person going zzz. I want some ins, people. Ins. The name of an inn. Hashtag. Name an inn. Name an inn. Name an inn. Give me some them. Okay, now I've got to try and go back because Wilton's magnificent magics. Oh shit, I've lost my spot now. I'm in trouble. Oh no. No, big fan of pawn shops. You are a big fan. I've noticed this. Fighting for him. Paul, it's not going to happen. Paul's. I'll accept Paul's the Paul's name though. Okay, where are we? No. Goblin fried chicken and goblin fried chicken. That's quite funny. I kind of like that. That's a funeral home. Shit, there's a lot of stuff here. Dead men tell no tales. Funeral home. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got a funeral home as well here. Okay, so I'm going to keep going back. How far behind am I? This is terrifying for me, people. And sometime I've got to watch the whole live stream and look at your chat to see all of this. There's so much stuff here. Oh, it's still going. Okay, I found it. I finally found it. Oh my God. Okay. Lifted pinky? What's a lifted pinky? Lifted pinky. Bad butchered goods. Okay, so that's a general store, right? I'm assuming bad butchered goods. Bad butchered goods. Sweet. Okay, I got bad butcher's goods. That's fine. I can live with that one. Discount meats. Okay, alright. So bad butchered goods is discount meats. Discounted meat. Yep, got it. I think I got that right. Is that what was the intention here, or was it a name that I was supposed to call? Was I supposed to say discounted meat? Because if it's discounted meats is not an exciting, but bad butchered goods is a bit more fantastical. Remember, we're not trying to create the name of a shop in the real world. Okay. Hashtag. Hashtag what? I don't know what I was going to hashtag, so just forget about it. Okay. I've completely lost it. At this point, I'm so far behind, and let's have a look. Oh, shit. It's 1 page, 2 pages. Okay, we'll take out that one, because that's not actually there. There's nothing actually there. 2 and a bit pages. It's 2.5 pages. Oh, God. Okay. The only reason it looks big is because I made all the print big. But bugger me, that's a lot of stuff, people. Okay. I feel like this is a good point for me to say, let us stop here because I don't know what else to do with this. That's a lot of different names of shops. I don't know how did we wind up with so many clothing and shoe shops, frankly. Magic shops, I understand. Suppliers of various things, that I understand that. The weapon suppliers are good. I don't understand why I mean, lots of blacksmiths, you need them. Cafes, I mean, we don't have a huge number of cafes, but we seem to have a few. Funeral homes, much to my surprise, are, I suppose heroes do die. Do they die in 5e though? Really? Do they really die? No, not really. General stores, we've got plenty of general stores now. I'm a much happier person. Pawn shops, so much to my surprise, we have pawn shops, we have a barber, and a few shops I don't know what to do with, and a whole lot that I have not been able to record at this present time. Yeah, moving from the text will get smaller. I've magnified it, and this is on a 4K monitor, so you guys are getting it like that. So I'm going to roll another dice. It gives you time to type something else in if you feel like it. No, nothing. What are you going to do with that? Flowers. If I show you a flower, we're going to have florists next. Here, picture of a flower. Okay, so I also thought what I would do is I have the Pathfinder Game Mastery book in front of me. So in here, it has a whole bunch of names of shops. There are about 50 names of different shops in here. And you'll notice it's on page 210, and all of these names they're compositions of something to make it unique and make it stand out, and it indicates what it is. Okay? The Sword Sharp Man. So basically a place that sells swords and weapons. Yep. But there's a few others here. So I just thought I would mention this book's actually not too bad. Even though it's for Pathfinder. Even if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, it's not a bad book at all. Anyway, beside the point. Kobold's Crazy Night Inn. Oh, I like that name. Thank you, Spirit Wolf. I will put that in later. But right now, my mind is gone. So we're going to go back to my face. And I know we had 10 minutes to go, but I'm exhausted. You guys have worked so hard. And trying to keep up with you is very difficult. So while you're still here, do you see this? You see this? You know what a cell phone is, right? Because I've got a cell phone here, like in front of me, I have a cell phone. So you guys know what a cell phone is. You know what this thing is, correct? This here are earphones. So whether it's headphones or earphones, it doesn't matter. So these two things are things that you will need for the future on my channel. Why am I saying you will need this in the future? Okay. So you guys can pump in any other additional shop names you like, but we've kind of stopped for today. Okay, I'll compile everything that I missed. If I missed it, I'll go back through the live stream when it's processed. So I am going to be trialing YouTube's attempt at doing Go Live Together. Now, Go Live Together is only available on mobile. That means it's only available on your phone, right? So what that essentially means is I can set up a live stream at my end and invite anybody I like to that live stream, and I can kick them out when I want to. What this means is that I'm going to trial it with some people that I know have good internet connections. So Go Live Together, if you don't know what it is, Go Live Together is where I can take the audience and you can talk to me directly using your phone, okay, simple as a phone, in the live stream. So this is going to happen, people, okay? It is going to happen. So you need to have a good phone, a good internet and wireless, okay? You probably need to put your phone on something or tape it to something so that I can see what's going on. Because if your phone is constantly moving around, it'll just get really crazy stuff. So if you can't put it on a tripod because a tripod's too expensive, totally understand. Tape it to something. Either tape it to the wall, tape it to a box, some books you've stacked up. I don't care. So Go Live Together, phone, good internet connection, wait for the future. You also need to have some earplugs or headphones to plug in, because the feedback, there might be no feedback, but there could be feedback, depending on how good your phone is and what's going on. Okay, So you need to be able to plug these in just in case. So I'm going to be trialing this with one of my buddies, Flute Sloot, in the future. No tavern. Don't stop the cabin. No taverns. Don't do it. So I'm going to invite you to ask me questions at some point in the future. And we're going to use a phone and some earplugs or headphones, okay? That's the intention for the future. That's what I want to do. I've been wanting to work towards this for a long time. So when the event comes up, I'll try to make it obvious to you what it is, okay? It will read like hashtag go live together, subscriber questions and answers. And the only way I'm not going to be doing the answering your questions in the text chat, I will be responding to people who want to jump in and talk to me directly. Does that make sense? That means a different way of doing things. Now, they already do this on TikTok, I understand, and they already do this on Instagram. But I'm keen to support the development of this project because I would like to see it work with more than just 2 people. And I would like it to be a real viable option. Okay, so make sure you have these ready for the future, people. If you don't have some of these, then go grab some, because you will soon be talking to me directly on YouTube using your mouth. Okay, and I will get to see you, and you will get to see me, and so will everybody else. Now, if that terrifies you, then don't be part of that. But it's coming. All right, I've finished my little rant here. And I can see you guys are having a good time in the chat. So that's good news. All right. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody here. Thank you to my patrons who support me. The patrons support this program. Sorry, the patrons support this program continuing. Without their support, it really would not work very well. One of the great things about it is not only do you support it happening every single week, so we do Dungeon Master preparation, you get all the information. Everything that we create here goes onto Patreon, and you can just download it, and it's yours to do as you wish. Okay? That's what the whole purpose is to do all the prep for you here. So if you don't have time, and we try to make tools that you can reuse. I want to thank everybody who's been part of the live stream today and been watching the live stream. Thank you very much. Everybody who's been watching the replays of my live streams, my edited videos, and putting up with my short videos. I do understand that they can be frustrating, but I kind of have to do those. Thank you very much. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.